Hey guys, JJ here, and today we have a very special interview with Invader Studios. Some of you guys will know them from the Resident Evil 2 Remake fan project that was shut down by Capcom titled Resident Evil 2 Reborn. They are also working on a new original game that was inspired by classic survival horror games titled Daymare 1998. Invader Studios is made up of Resident Evil and survival horror fans, so it was really cool getting to chat with them. I should add that they're based out of Rome, Italy, so it may be a little difficult to understand what they are saying at times, but I included subtitles to make it easier for you guys. A big thank you to them for doing this interview with us, and a big thank you to you guys for the continued support of the Residents of Evil. Because of your guys' support, we are able to do interviews like this, so thank you. This interview was written by Ali and read by me, so without further ado, here's our interview with Invader Studios. Invader Studios is a small independent game developing company based out of Rome, Italy. Formerly known as Invader Games, they released a gameplay video on YouTube for a passion project the studio was working on back in 2015. This video was for Resident Evil 2 Reborn, and it went viral in the Resident Evil communities, no pun intended. The video showed series protagonist Leon S. Kennedy back on the zombie-infested streets of Raccoon City, but this time featuring an over-the-shoulder perspective and beautiful atmospheric environments rendered through Unreal Engine 4. The YouTube video garnered a lot of attention for Invader Studios, and their efforts were all well received. It didn't take long for Capcom to take notice as well. Shortly after the video was presented to the world, Capcom contacted Invader Studios with an invite to their corporate office in Osaka, Japan. Question number 1. How did the meeting with Capcom in Osaka go?
It has been a double amazing stimulation and emotion. First as professionals, but also as Capcom and Resident Evil fans that we are. When you receive an official invite from one of the most important companies of the industry for the work you've done on their IP is something incredible. We didn't expect that, and it was a fantastic surprise. During the meeting they have been really kind and professional and showed us many incredible things that we cannot reveal. Resident Evil 7 in 8 months advance, for example. They are also supporting us in this period with official posts on their social and helping us to connect with important companies. We are really grateful to them, first to have originated the most important brand of our life, Resident Evil, but mostly for what they done and what they are doing for us from a professional point of view. Daymare 1998 is in part the result of that meeting, where they showed us the pros and cons of our ideas and direct us in the better way to make a true survival horror. After that meeting, everything changed, and Invader Studios, with some important changes, became the current company and group. Something bigger and better than the previous years.
Capcom shut down Invader Studios' work on Resident Evil 2 Reborn and announced publicly that they were indeed working on an official Resident Evil 2 remake. Question number 2. Do you feel like the positive buzz that Resident Evil 2 Reborn created forced Capcom to start an official remake?
All the people, the press and also some developers we met in these last years are sure of that. We know to have done a great and important market analysis for them, and their first Facebook post about the Resident Evil 2 remake, where they talked about the huge attention on the game during that period, is probably the proof. As I said, we can say more about, because we talked also about that during the meeting, but I think that the most important thing now is to have a great Resident Evil 2 remake for Capcom and also for all the fans, but we are sure of that.
After Capcom pulled the plug on Invader Games' Resident Evil 2 project, they shifted their focus and rebranded to Invader Studios. Question number 3. After Resident Evil 2 Reborn was cancelled, what was next for Invader Studios?
After that meeting, we felt the need to change. We decided to be the team behind Daymare 1998 and not only behind the unofficial remake. For these reasons, we decided to do this improvement and enhancement of the team and of the projects, without forget our past. And for this reason, Capcom keep to talk with us and support us also publicly. After the Resident Evil 2 unofficial remake, Daymare 1998 would have been our new personal celebration to the survival horror and to the 90s feelings and mood.
Invader Studios took what they learned from the work completed on Resident Evil 2 Reborn and the lessons learned from Capcom to create a new original IP, Daymare 1998. Question number 4. Tell us about Daymare 1998. What can we expect from the story? Are there any special elements that will drive the replayability of this game? Will there be any form of co-op or multiplayer?
Daymare 1998 is an hybrid product that includes the mood of the 90s iconic cinematographic brands in a classical gloomy survival horror game, focusing on a complex narrative structure that is based on a multi-character point of view. From an artistic point of view, Daymare 1998 is inspired by those movies and game productions. What emerges from this mix is a constant and oppressive sense of danger, helplessness, and fear conveyed by an extremely suggestive and creepy setting, a typical dirty and chaotic American little town as depicted in many productions of the 90s. Gameplay-wise, Daymare 1998 is a third-person survival horror with over-the-shoulder camera, hardcore survival mechanics, hard-to-kill enemies, and strategical approach to combat and puzzles, with a multi-character point-of-view story and a deep and obscure lore. Daymare 1998 was born from the idea to bring back the classic survival horror game that long-time players love. The project has a strong nostalgic component linked to the 90s and seek to bring back those feelings and excitement and anxiety that titles such as Resident Evil and Silent Hill had, with a new and high-catching graphics. The game has a strong narrative component which draws on past events that actually happened and theories like what if. The retrospective narrative of the title is a pillar that governs the narration of the in-game events. Everything is connected and is slowly shown to the player in a crescendo of situations that leads him to understand what's going on until the final epilogue, when a personal situation will put the player in a difficult position. The plot unfolds through the eyes of different characters, putting the player in the shoes of different personalities that will guide him through doubts and theories. About the co-op or the multiplayer, absolutely not. We want a unique, classic, story-driven single-player experience. As survival horror true fans, we know what people like us want.
Inspired by the best survival horror games out there, Daymare 1998 is a true addition to the genre. Question number 5. What games inspired Daymare 1998? What elements do you think define the survival horror genre?
As the title of the game suggests, Daymare 1998 is meant to bring back the atmosphere, the feeling, and the mood of the 80s and 90s most beloved video games and movies. In those years, we saw the boom of the horror genre. The gameplay follows the classic styles of the genre, getting numerous contaminations from several classic titles, more or less recent. Daymare 1998 is hard. It's taught to bring the player to think about the next move, of which resource to keep and which one to use or leave behind, because the enemies are tough and dangerous, and you can just shoot to get rid of them. We learned a lot from Dead Space or The Evil Within, or better, Resident Evil 4 before them, for the game mechanics, over the shoulder camera for example, but we put them in the Resident Evil first game's mood and atmosphere, forging a mix of these features so distant but perfectly synergistic at the same time. An unusual action gameplay reinvented for a true classic survival horror game.
A Kickstarter campaign was created to finance Daymare 1998. That Kickstarter campaign was recently closed out with a final amount of $43,693.84. Question number 6. How successful was the Kickstarter campaign for Daymare 1998's goals?
Really successful, to be honest. We thought that the best way to present the game's new features and also the incredible VIPs that are among us for the game development, Kazuhiro Aoyama and Satoshi Nakai overall, would have been the crowdfunding campaign. Even if we didn't got the requested budget, we reached 40,000 euros, an incredible amount for a young, talented studios without a release and working on his first IP. Furthermore, the campaign was useful to open more doors for the game financing and publishing, with the worldwide press, with the fans from all over the world, as well as to reach the Steam Greenlight approval. Daymare 1998 was voted as 5th on 30,000 games in a few weeks, and the Microsoft ID at Xbox Program Access. For this reason, I can say that the campaign was really successful, also if we didn't win.
Through the unwavering fan support of Invader Studios, Daymare 1998 was greenlit on Steam. Question number 7. Daymare 1998 was greenlit by Steam rather quickly. Were you surprised by the overwhelming support from the community?
We are surprised every day. It's incredible for an indie young studio like us to have this huge and exciting affection and attention from the press, from the industry, and overall from the worldwide community. We know the importance to have this kind of expectations and to make something great for all these people. Their support is our first motivation every day, and for this reason we are working hard to give them the best possible game. Daymare 1998 is our celebration to the community love for the survival horror genre.
Well, that concludes our interview with Invader Studios. Thank you so much to Miguel for doing this interview with us. I can't wait to play Daymare 1998 myself. If you want to check out Daymare 1998 or Invader Studios for yourself, I'll leave all their links down in the description. Seriously guys, go check it out. It looks awesome. I just want to remind everyone, Invader Studios had graciously given me a demo of Daymare 1998 that I'll be streaming this week, so definitely stay tuned for that. Ollie'll also be streaming to his Twitch channel, so I'll leave his link down below as well. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and subscribe for more interviews, giveaways, live streams, and the Residents of Evil podcast. If you want to follow the Residents of Evil on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or Instagram, I'll leave the links down below. If you want to check out some Residents of Evil merch, I'll also leave that link in the description. We got shirts, posters, mugs, the list goes on. It helps support the Residents of Evil. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you back at the Residents of Evil.